안녕하세요. 물리치료 읽어주는 남자입니다. 오늘은 바른 자세와 어깨와의 상관관계에 대해서 이야기해보려고 합니다. 많은 분들이 자세를 분석하고 자세에 대한 조언을 해주고 실제로 자세에 관한 시장도 매우 큰 것을 알 수 있습니다. 우리는 언제부터 자세에 대해서 생각하기 시작했을까요? 놀랍게도 우리는 자세에 대한 부분을 이미 고대 이집트 시절부터 이야기했다고 합니다. 만약에 이집트에 가시게 되시면 정말 멋지고 큰 동선들이 많은데요. 자세가 아주 매우 훌륭합니다. 그리고 1800년대에 자세를 고치기 위해서 그 시절에 노력을 했다는 연구도 있습니다. 하지만 우리는 좋은 자세라는 부분을 환자에게 적용하기에는 너무나 어려운 부분을 발견하게 됩니다. 실제로 환자에게 좋은 자세라고 설명하고 그대로 있으라고 하면 굉장히 우스꽝스러운 자세가 나옵니다. 과연 좋은 자세라는 것은 존재하는 걸까요? 제레미 루이스 선생님의 이야기를 들어보시죠.
So the third conundrum I'd like to talk about is the role of posture. And good posture has always been associated from the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, has always been associated with good health. And you can see, examples of perfect seating posture in statues from ancient Egypt. Let me introduce you to the three winners of Miss Perfect Posture 1956 at the chiropractic conference in Chicago. I mean, would that not go to the top of your CV? Go on mine. So what they did is they chose the people who had the best looking posture and they confirmed it with x-rays. We've also got textbooks that tell us about posture and perfect posture and changes in muscles when we don't have perfect posture and deviations from perfect posture. And we use this to inform our clinical practice, we use this to tell our patients what's going on, and we use this to tell our students. So we were told in 1947 by the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons that this is how you have to stand. There was no 95% confidence interval. There was no deviation from this. It was binary. It was this, and any deviation from this was considered abnormal. And we've got texts that tell us any deviation from this ideal normal is associated with conditions, muscle imbalances, and we need to identify it and we need to correct it. So we're told if you're slightly kyphotic, you're going to have rounded shoulders, pec muscles are going to be tight, the upper trapezius is going to be tight, it's going to lift the scapula up, pull the scapula forwards, and we're going to get impingement when we lift up our arms. So we improve this and our patients get better. So the hypothesis is very simple. You've got good posture, your scapula is aligned properly, you can lift your arm up without any problems, and if you've got a forward head posture, your scapula tilts forwards, and when you lift your arm up, you impinge the soft tissues under the acromion, and that explains where the symptoms are coming from. And people have been forever talking about treating poor posture. So you can go back 100 years in this country and find the thoracic kyphosis straightening machine, where you kneel, you get strapped in, the clinician tries to straighten your thoracic spine. We've got very worrying treatments that seem to be a bit of concern, and you can have this, you can have this buggy that you can walk around all day, first four-wheel drive I think ever invented, that you can walk around all day while having your posture improved. And of course, so we tell our patients it's your posture. And that's probably the same as we heard in the brilliant lectures before lunch, telling your patient it's a disc herniation. That's the same thing. I think that's how our patients are processing that information. Now, there's probably, from my reckoning, from what I can understand from different websites, about 570 physios, chiropractors and osteopaths around the world. If they're each seeing 10 patients a day and they tell 3 of their patients that it's your posture, that means 34 million people a month are being told it's your posture, and about 500 million people a year are being told you've got a disc herniation, but in physio talk. That's probably what we're doing. We're telling people that this is the reason for your symptoms. And do we have any evidence for that? So over the years, I've been involved with colleagues with quite a lot of studies on posture. Some of them I'm embarrassed about now, but some of them I'm still okay about. And here's just some examples. So this is a study we did. We put markers on different anatomical landmarks. We hammered nails into C7s, and we were then able to generate information about forward head posture, kyphosis, scapular position, and correlate it to shoulder range of movement in people with and without shoulder symptoms, and found absolutely no correlation. We've looked at some of the muscle length tests that have been published, and I can tell you some of these tests are incredibly reliable, but an incredible waste of time, because there is no difference between people with and without symptoms when you're assessing them with these tests. A study that was published in BJSM last year, led by Liz Radcliffe, she did a systematic review, synthesising the information she could find on scapular posture in people with impingement, because we're told in impingement that when you're standing, you're forwards, your scapula's coming forwards, and it's impinging into the into the subacromial space. Her synthesis of the literature clearly said there is no typical scapular posture in people.